Unpacking after a move can be so overwhelming, but if you do it correctly, it can lay the foundation for the life you always dreamed of in your new home. It might sound dramatic, but it's true. I'm a professional organizer with a PhD in behavioral science, and I've seen how crucial it is to shift your environment if you want to shift your life. And a move is a great opportunity because it's a fresh start to create a new and better foundation for your habits and routines. In this video, I'm going to share 5 steps you need to take to unpack your new home in the best way possible. We're going to go over what needs to happen before you move, why an unpacking schedule is important, how to take this opportunity to optimize your space to optimize your life, why you shouldn't rush into getting organized right away, and how and when to solidify your organizational systems. This is front and center in my mind right now because I just recently moved states. My boyfriend and I downsized from a 4-bedroom house to a 2-bedroom townhouse. Even though we got rid of a lot in preparation for the move, we still have a lot of stuff. To make matters worse, we moved ourselves, so that added an exhaustion layer to the whole process. We drove for 2 days across the country, then unloaded the truck and carried all of our stuff up 2 flights of stairs. So by the time we had everything in the house, we were exhausted, and there was no way we were going to unpack everything that day. But even if you hired movers like a real adult, moving is still exhausting and unpacking can feel overwhelming. These are some of the things that I did in this move to maintain as much sanity as possible and get my new house set up in the best way. Of course, everyone's situation is unique, so take whatever advice you think will work for you and leave the rest. Okay, the first thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the work should happen before you move. I'm going to break this part down into 2 separate sections. First, make sure you declutter before you move. Packing up your home is a beautiful opportunity to assess all of your belongings to decide what you want to bring with you into your new life and your new home. Even if you've hired somebody to pack up your home, I recommend going through and doing a thoughtful declutter of all of your things before the packers get there. You don't want to bring stuff with you that doesn't support your new life and that will instead pull you back into your old ways. This is such a beautiful opportunity to be intentional. What you own and what you're surrounded by in your home on a daily basis has a profound impact on your day-to-day life. Okay, the second thing to keep in mind before the move. Make sure you pack with unpacking in mind. Clearly label every box with what room it goes in so you can put the boxes in the right place the first time. This makes it easier to put the boxes in the rooms they go in right away rather than letting them sit in the garage or another storage space for who knows how long. It also makes it so you only have to move each box one time, which is more efficient and less exhausting. I also think it's extremely helpful to have a few boxes that are marked as important, where you've packed the basic things that you need for your daily life. Having these things in separate, easy-to-access boxes rather than together with a bunch of other stuff in the same category means that when you arrive to your new home and you're exhausted and just want to relax, you're able to quickly find the things that you need to spend the first day or 2 in your new home. These boxes might include things like bedding, towels, soap, basic dishes, etc. So rather than opening all of your kitchen boxes, all of your bedroom boxes, all of your bathroom boxes, searching for the few things that you need right away, you have them all easily accessible and ready to go. Okay, the second step is to set an unpacking schedule. Of course, you will likely not have energy to unpack your entire house the first day you move in, so create a schedule that factors in the other obligations that you have that gives you time to thoughtfully unpack each area in your home. The idea is not to be too strict with yourself, but you also don't want to have no structure at all because that can lead to boxes sitting around unpacked for months or even years. Creating a flexible schedule is a great way to help yourself stay accountable and prioritize the things that are most important. The third idea is to be intentional about the life you want to create in your new home. What habits and routines do you want your home to support? This is crucial, and it's such a beautiful opportunity to usher in a positive new phase in your life to accompany the change in environment. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Even though I have a health-focused background and I have a PhD in behavior change, I've fallen into quite a rut over the past few months. This is something that I've taken note of and have decided to be really intentional about what I want my life to look like in my new home and what habits and routines I would like to prioritize when I'm setting up my new space. My main focuses right now are to meal plan and cook at home more and to work more activity into my daily routine. These are goals that so many people have, so I'm looking forward to showing you exactly how I set up my space to make these things happen in future videos. The fourth step is to put things away, but don't commit to systems right away. Give yourself a week or two to live in the space and notice how the layout is working for you and what could be improved. This gives you some time to learn through trial and error, but it also lets you build more robust systems around your real life. For example, you'll have a better idea of what needs space in your home after 1 or 2 trips to the grocery store versus designing systems around whatever you had when you first moved in. This is what things are looking like in my house right now. I've been here for about a week so far, and it's been really useful to put things away to get all the boxes out of my house and also to see if the flow of the space works well in real life. You'd be surprised how often something seems like a good idea or layout on paper, but when you actually interact with the space, it doesn't flow the same way that you thought it would. So putting things away in a temporary way like this lets me move things around and figure out what works through trial and error without wasting time organizing stuff that I might just end up moving later. Alright, the 5th and final step is to solidify the systems. This is where you make the systems more established by introducing organizers or labels. Always start with what you already have. Bins and organizers can get pricey, and there's also a danger to them in that they can just turn into more clutter that you're bringing into your home. But if you're intentional about them, they can make your space much more functional. Here are some things that guide my organizer purchasing decisions. After using the space for a while and putting things in their locations in a temporary way, I think about how I could possibly use the space better and how I could store the items to make them easier to access. Usually this is something like wishing that I could take better advantage of vertical space on a tall shelf where I don't have tall things to store, or wishing I could take advantage of the depths of the shelves because the back of the shelves turns into dead space. Also think about what sorts of categories you'd like to keep together and what sorts of physical barriers could help keep things in their place and make them easy to use and maintain. In the next few weeks, I'm going to share some videos of me organizing my kitchen and bathroom so you can see this process in action. So that's all there is to it. Make sure you're mindful of how and what you're packing, create an unpacking schedule you can stick to, be intentional about the life you envision in your new space and what you can do to support the habits and routines you want. Put things away tentatively as soon as possible, and then solidify your organizing systems after you've decided that the layout works for you. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos showing the process of creating solid organizing systems in my kitchen and bathroom. And in the meantime, check out this short video where I talk about why organizing doesn't work for most people and give you some tips to help avoid some of the common mistakes.